This page lists the steps for a hypothesis test where sigma, the population standard deviation, is unknown. There's many steps to the process, but many of them are going to be similar to the way we had done it when sigma was known. The major difference here is that we're going to be using a t distribution instead of a z distribution. With that in mind, let's take a look at how to find critical t values using the t table. We've done a little bit of this in the past as well. And let's just try it for this first one. Now here we see our n is 21. We're going to want to know the degrees of freedom by the formula n minus 1. That's going to be 20. This is a left-tailed test though. So we're going to want to section off an area for our left tail. And the area of that tail will be alpha. Those are the two things that we need in order to get our TC value from the table. So let's go to the T table. We have a left-tailed test, so that's this type here. Go to the one tail alpha, look up our area of 0.05, and then we trace it down to where it intersects with 20. Because it's a left tail, we need to make it a negative 1.725. The approach for a right tail is similar. The area is 0.01. Our n is 16 and our degrees of freedom therefore will be 15. So let's go to the table. One tail, 0.01. Trace it down to 15. 2.602 is our TC value. Okay, now we have a two-tailed test. And how much area goes in each section? Well, the alpha of 0.1 is actually the addition of both tails. That means we've got 0.05 in one tail and 0.05 in the other tail. If you forget this, just check out the formulas because it'll show you right here a reminder that for a two-tailed test, half the alpha goes in the left tail and half the alpha goes in the right tail. Our n is 31, so our degrees of freedom are 30. Let's go to the table and find the TC value. We have to look under two tails now. 0.1 is our alpha and go all the way down to 30. 1.697. So our left TC will be negative 1.697 and our right one will be positive 1.697. Now sometimes the TC value that you need may not be on that T table. And if that occurs, then we'll want to use other technologies to get it. I'll show you one method from the web here that's fairly easy. We'll go to a t-distribution calculator. So this is a T distribution calculator. It allows you to plug in the degrees of freedom and also the area in the left tail. And it'll give you the corresponding t-score. So on this first one, I want an alpha of 0.05 in my left tail and a degree of freedom of 20. Let's plug that in. You'll want to leave the t-score box blank because when you hit calculate, it'll have your TC value show up right there. Negative 1.725. It matches. Okay, if I was going to do one with a right tail, I would just plug in the alpha of 0.01. And let's do a degree of freedom of 15. Okay, now it's going to give us a negative value. But we have to know that when we go to put it into our diagram, we want a positive value because it's a right-tailed test. Lastly, when I do it for this alpha of 0.1 and 2 tails, I have to know to split it up into 2 areas. So I have to enter actually the 0.05 into the program. There we go, negative 1.697. It matches.